Testing, testing. Test, test, test. All right. Welcome back. This stream will be. I'll try something. I'm not sure if it works. I'll try to add region unlocking, which solves only one problem. But so if you imagine the game having all the regions in it that are planned, and you start up a new game, and then you land, for example, in the mountains. You die, you start a new game, and then you're on the very south of the coast. Then that's pretty disjointed, because the world will be so large. There won't really be you won't really have the opportunity to learn the locations, at least in the beginning. It would take a long time to learn all of them. So, and in addition to that, there's nothing to really look forward to. So I'm trying out sub-region unlocking. So that would be the game, a fresh game, freshly installed game, always starts at one location. But as you discover new sub-regions that are those that have a name, all these spawn points in that region will land in the pool. And when you start the next game, you could start in that region as well. So what that means is that you gradually expand the world. And I'm not sure if that works. If it works, so I intend to just try it out. And that's what I'll do today. So I'm not sure if I can finish it, but I should be able to. So let's jump right in. Also, I didn't update the... let me update it. I forgot to update the list. The game status. So it's sold 5 copies yesterday and got 22 wish lists. Is that right? Something like that. Or a bit less. Yeah, thank you all who bought the game. It means a lot. That means I can work on this as much as I do. So, first of all, it would be pretty lame if you just enter the region and then things became unlocked. So there should maybe be something to activate. But that's also bad because the path would have to pass by that unlockable thing. So let's just leave it out for now. So what I need is a list of all the unlocked regions. A1. Let's pick a actually, let's run the game. Let's pick a region that's the start region. Just any one would be fine. In the mountains, of course, or the forest. Let me think. Is there one that's better suited than the others? Yeah, maybe this one. Windswept Peaks. Sorry, you can't see, probably. Let's use the foothills. So foothills is A51. File, record. And I'll just write it in the records. So struct record int regions. And this is, how large can this be? Definitely larger than the space I have, but so how many regions are there? 120 right now. So let's say 512. And that adds a whole lot to this. $512 times 4 plus 108 to 156. Okay. Unlocked subregions. And then I need to hook into, well, actually, first of all, I need to, is that a good idea to put this into here? Write records. That is a, but that's the high scores table, so that's fine if I call this. This wouldn't mess up the high scores. So I can't just write the records when something's unlocked. So unlocking is in game area, render area, update area. Shows the label, but that is not exactly what I want. I want, well, that is what I want actually. Yeah, this is what I want. Start showing label, record new region. Well, let's call this area. a bit confused. They are actually regions. Are they? No, they are areas. Regions are the one hierarchy up. So those are areas. And then do I okay, this is just read and write stuff. And a few utilities, but nothing. Maybe I should add the helper here. Unlock the area, and that is the marker. And that needs a integer for I. Okay, I need a pound defined for that. Well, that's actually equal to max area. Okay, max area. If records area is 0, that reminds me, read area records. Okay, records. I should maybe zero this out. So if there's no file, those are the initial value, and I need to add the start area, which was I think 61, 51 actually. So I hope this file is read every time the game boots up, but I think so. Yep. Yep. Okay, back to this. So if the just find the next empty slot and put the object index in there. shouldn't happen actually, but let's not have this return 0. Let's have this just crash. File. Unlock area. So then in game, unlock area, and that is just patch area, and then write the records. Yeah. And there should be a second label that says int is unlocked, area unlocked, and that's just the read version of this one, and this of course returns 0. So, well, actually I don't need this. Let's revert, remove this, and if I return 0 here, yeah, that's actually, yeah, that's stupid, this whole thing. So, need to make 2 passes. Wait, can I remove stuff? No. So, if it reaches an empty slot, then that means it wasn't in the array. And this is still an assert. But I'll check this. And so if I call unlock, then this returns an integer now. And then I just say I'll just set new area to 1 and use that in the label. I'll have to set this to 0, of course, somewhere else. Maybe just like this. Yeah, that should just work. If, well, and then I'll write here. Okay. So I go through the array. If the area is already in there, I return 0. if I reach an empty slot, that means it's not unlocked. So write it in there. I write out the file, and then I return a 1. So if the threshold for the area display is reached, then I call this function with the current area and set the new area flag. And this should work. So there's a new area flag, render area, and this renders the name, and let's put something above that that says, well, does this get the string width? Okay. That's this whole animation stuff. Why do I get the width up here? Okay, there's no reason. Let's put that here. Area name. Discovered. So if new area is 1, then get the string width. Actually, don't need that. Well, let's just do this. Conflicting types. It's an int. Needs to be 2 equal signs, of course. Okay, we're here. Yeah, and I haven't put this into the path generation function, so something start point. So I'll have to be a bit careful here, because if I reject too many start points, this could delay the start of the game for half a second, or maybe even a second. That would be horrible. So I reject quite a lot of places already. So everything that's not a region. Oh well, if I add the check here, that's easier. And I realize I needed the is unlocked function. Let's just add that here. Same thing. Just in reverse. So look at everything, and if the object ID is in there, return 1, else 0. And then in the functions. Okay, so if areas is unlocked, actually the opposite, if it's not unlocked, then continue. And this will cause problems with the editor. Oh, it won't, because this is a generated start point. And the start points from the editor are fixed. Okay. Okay. That takes quite a while. And it hangs in the find start position function. Let's first check for a typo, because I opened this. I don't need to have that. Okay. Area marker. So this is okay. Area unlocked. That looks good as well. Oh yeah, it didn't set. Oh, that's bad. It did not set the, because I had a records file already, didn't run this, so it never unlocked the area. So if I say 34, bump the version. Wait, I can't do that. That is stupid, because that would erase all the high scores. So if version is less than 34, and just reset the areas. Yeah, okay. Well, that still doesn't work. Okay, where are we? Print records. Okay, that's just junk. Okay, this is a bit problematic. The problem is the file on disk is much smaller. So if I load that into the records struct, the areas will be full of junk. But why doesn't this fix it? Oh, there's a stupid. I wonder why Clang doesn't alert me to this. Okay, records are still there, that's good. But the game still doesn't want to. Okay. Still not set. Why doesn't it? Doesn't it zero out the records? What am I missing? Okay, that's 4K. That is records. And that is 2K. What's going on? If it's less than go to set default. Less than 17, okay. So then if it's less than 34. Okay, that's stupid. This has to come after. Data is red, okay. And then it's freed. Okay, maybe this works. And here we are. Let's see if we land in the foothills. And this is the foothills. Awesome. Okay, let's unlock something. Let me put guard mode on, so that we're not here all day. Oh, there's the dungeon. Zombie on the entrance. New area, domed vault. Okay. Foothills is not a new area. And let's, before we test spawning there, the domed vault, let's fix the display. Let's name this unlocked, area unlocked, and oh, that's unfortunate. A. See that A is A. Brown. It's more of a golden color, but that's what it's named. So, and this is a, yeah. So this means, of course, that all the regular players will have to start in this area. Unless I come up with a solution for that. But so everybody starts with a blank slate concerning the areas, but I mean, shouldn't feel too different when you play the game. It's actually just for the next regions. So I don't want, as I explained in the beginning, I want players to have the feeling that they can work towards something. And not just land, especially with the new region. Yeah, it's unfortunate that there's no way of working towards that region. And just before stream, I had a flurry of ideas. On how to make that happen. Ooh, what was that? Okay, that was weird. Let's look for another region. See if that's just... if that's a bug I just added, or if that is a general problem. Which would be much worse, of course. Oops. No, I think it's something I did. That's good. And this needs to be +1. What did I do? Do I need to... Oh yeah, there's no defaulting. Why doesn't it warn me of that? Bad compiler. Oops. So dungeon is good because there's certainly a new area at the other end. Wait, actually, that's not true. And it's still disappearing. What did I do? Okay, let's revert this. See if the problem goes away. Because this is, yeah, this is a new problem. Hotels, yeah, and then it works. What? Okay, let's go through it. So C is just a vector of 4 floats, which is the color. And then if the timer is above 4.5 seconds, then it fades in the alpha component. And it's below 0. Oh, that's because, yeah, okay, I'm stupid. It has to be 1. Alpha is 1. Because the alpha of the color is 1 by default. Did I save that? Yeah. Foothills, okay. Let's look for another region. Also, there's no seeing which regions you've unlocked, which is kind of bad. But yeah, it's too early to add some form of a map to the game. Area unlocked, forest ruins. So that's pretty cool. And now save and exit, restart. And we are in the foothills, of course. And this is not the foothills, so that's pretty cool. Area unlocked. Yeah, and this way you can snake your way through the world. I mean, it's pretty easy to get all of them right now because there are only 11 or 12 these subregions. And I wonder if it would make the game better if I had stones that you had to touch to unlock the region, like these path stones. If I replaced the path stones with region stones, well, I actually could do that. I could make destroying the path stones I could tie that to the region unlocking because they are regular. But they're not guaranteed to, so there might be an unlucky unlucky position of the path stone that's just one patch away from a new region that you just passed through. But it's much more satisfying to do something to unlock the region. So let's try and do that. So that would be update area, and then instead of unlocking it here, I unlock it in the path here. Do I have the patch? Probably not. Are you kidding me? Okay. Fighting version control. So this has to go into a new function. Show area. And what I need is a timer. And if it's new. Unlocked. And the area itself shows area object index 4 seconds. And unlocked. If and okay, so that is show area patch area 5 0. Well, yeah. And then set this here. This uses, what does this use? Okay, state area. So that's no longer working. I think I had that before. Okay, status area. Yep. Okay, that's I. Okay, these checks are correct. But here I set this. And this. Is that in game? I think so. If, well, I need the variable. Do I need that? Show area patch area 5, and then wait. If this is 1, then do this. Otherwise, don't show it at all. Okay, so you touch the path stone, or you bump into it, and then I get the patch you're standing on, and see if the area the patch belongs to is unlocked. If not, then I unlock it and show the label. Yeah. Yeah, C area is counter. Yeah, so this display never shows the unlocked message, just the area you're entering. And then sets it. So yeah, they are now split, which is okay. Unused parameter. Oh. This time the compiler caught it. That's awesome. Actually, let's remove the records. And yeah, that's a good question. What about the save games? So if I boot up the game after the update, then there should actually be no problem. But I could still, of course, I think I'm going backwards. I could still, of course, unlock new regions or new areas while being bound to the foothills at the very start. So yeah, this is actually a form of meta progression. Yeah, as I said, I'm still not sure if I should add this. And maybe I'll make a Reddit post about it to gather feedback. Okay, can I please exit? Okay, still flooded valley. I need a pathstone, please. More spiders. Okay. There's one. So it should unlock something. Flooded valley unlocked. Okay, that's actually cool. I like that much more. Oops. Let's see if the game craps itself. Didn't. Okay, where am I? Foothills. Great. Let's try that again. I want to see the flooded valley. But those are, I think those are the only two I've unlocked. Not sure. Still in the foothills. Flooded valley. So yeah. Where do I go? Yeah. Okay. That was a bit weird, but don't think people move as frantically as I do here in God mode. And yeah, as for the new region, the new first sub-region of the new coastal region, it's coming along nicely. I'm adding new monsters today. And I did all the dungeons yesterday, most of them at least. Could add one or two more. And after that, it's tomorrow's Wednesday, so yeah. I hope to be done with it by tomorrow evening. Wait, is that true, or is today Wednesday? Today's Tuesday. Thank God. Okay. Yeah, should be enough time. If I finish... Well, I need to finish on tomorrow so that I can test thoroughly on Thursday and release on Friday. So that's the plan. And maybe I'll add this system right here. I'm not sure about it. But this area unlock is pretty cool. Even though the impact on the game is not that great, it will be in the long run, or it would be in the long run, when you have to... Well, now I also know... Well, I don't know. I've been there before. What was I saying? Yeah, so if you imagine the world being finished, and it having about 50 of these subregions, and you slowly snake your way through those regions, then I think that adds at least something to the game. It isn't the solution for an end game or something like that. That's a whole other problem. It's just something... The problem was making the regions not accessible from the start. All of them. Because I think that would be lame. Would get lame really fast. If you're just teleported across the world the whole time. So this is a pretty soft solution for that problem. I had a lot harder solutions. With that I mean they would impact the game quite a bit more. But none of them gave added benefits. Like more player choice. And well, that's the one thing I'm looking for. This doesn't add much choice, it's more the illusion of a choice, but it solves that one problem. Why would I walk into that? Okay. Well, I can unlock the observatory. Nice. Maybe, yeah, maybe I don't show the area label unless you've unlocked it. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Because then you know that you don't have the name, but you also don't know that you've exited the previous area. You could call it unknown area, something. Yeah, that would be much better. Having you reveal the name as well. So that's I mean, the unlocking is kind of a remembering, and if you pair that with learning the name, that should be much more impactful. Hey Wolf, how's it going? How are you doing? So yeah, let's do that actually. But how... Do I just not name the region? Or don't show the label? That's the easiest solution, so let's try that. Show label... Update area. So I want us to only show if the area is unlocked. And that was in... Yeah. Okay, they're doing garden work outside. City on the street. I'll close the window. And I'll go to the bathroom real quick. Um, Actually, I would want areas that you've unlocked to be golden, and those you don't have unlocked to be just gray. How do I do that? So this shows the area. That's what I want. That's what I want to change. Int unlocked, int known. Maybe like this. And then I add area unlocked. Well, don't need that. Can do that. Can do the check in here. Thing is, I don't want to do this. I could do this where I need it, but that's in the render loop. So I won't do that. Render area. So this gets, if the area is known, it gets, well, I can do this like this. If it's known, then it's golden, else it's gray. And this is beginning to look like some form of a struct. But let's keep it like this. But this could be a struct called area display or something. Then still be statically global, but a bit more coherent. Does that solve the problem? Maybe. Yeah, there are still too many spiders in this game. Where do I go? Yeah. Okay, maybe an area I know. That would be cool. What's this? Shattered halls. That's pretty new. It'll be hard to unlock this area, because there are, I think, only one spawn point. There's only one spawn point in here. Maybe two. Foothills, okay, that's well, the gold is maybe a bit much, but I mean, it's clear. Where do I go? Come on, give me new Give me a new area. I also wanted to give the robbers a second voice, because I purchased a sound pack that has multiple voices in it, and another one that would fit quite well. But that would kind of, well, yeah, it would. I would need to identify the. Well, I can do that. So the problem is, of course, one robber shouldn't use two different voices. But I could just modulo the entity pointer, and that's enough. Okay, no area. Forest ruins. Okay, it's white. I know, I've never been here. Pointed Hills, never been here either, but now I missed the other region. There was no stone there, which is a bit annoying. But could be part of the fun. Oh, jeez. Yeah, there's no god mode for falling off bridges. I should maybe add that. Where am I? I'm in the flooded valley. Somewhere new. Oh, backwards. Oh, I do have a very bad label there in the menu. Very awkwardly positioned. I'm in the backwaters. So great. Let's search for unlocked, area unlocked. And yeah, this should be gray +1. Walking backwards. So, I mean, what's kind of making this not as great, this whole system, is that you don't have a map. And so there's no real visual feedback of what area you've unlocked. which is kind of bad, but I mean, that would be one step further. And I think this can work on its own. Still in the backwaters, okay. Or maybe actually it would be enough if I had a little... If I showed the silhouette of the region that you just unlocked in relation to the whole world on screen, while the label is showing, that would be pretty cool. Couldn't I unlock this again? So yeah, I mean, it took me, granted I'm using God mode, but it took me no time at all to unlock quite a few of these. Let's start anew with, by removing the records file. And it's actually, yeah, it's probably a bad idea to put the areas in with the high scores. Yeah, that's a very bad idea. Well, what I could reduce the number of the path stones. Oops. Or I could actually just... I could remove the path stones completely and just give every region one stone. But problem is that will have implications. I should display the number of areas there are in the game. Yeah. So let's do that. So that gets a bit much, so I'll turn this into struct. There's no label. Nope. time. Oops. Float new. Float n. What is NRE? Discovered. And total. Count. NTN. Total number of regions. Discovered number of regions. Newly discovered. Region index. And that is timer. Static struct label. Label. What was that? Known. I don't have known. Isn't that the inverse of this? Don't think so. Yeah, let's use new instead of discovered. What else? That's it. Okay, and then I need the number of areas. And what is that? What is that? I think that needs to go here. And it's... Oh, that's actually bad. They are not consecutive. In the indices. So they have a gap. They have a gap between the regions. So coast and forest. Yeah, here's the gap. And that is about 100, well, a couple of hundred numbers. So I can't easily do this. I could easily do this if I split it by region. Well, more easily. Unless I set this by hand. Total number of regions. So this is... Yeah. Yeah. So this stops at... I think 73. So let's just do that. Struct. $73. And the number of unlocked for I. Let's do this by hand. I is less than, what was it? Max areas. Okay, that's really bad. That this is named this way. Let's go back to 512 for now. To get this problem out of the way. And create a few more. If records is not 0, add this. And I hope that these are all the fields, that I don't have to zero out the thing. I think that's okay. So this is just called, this is only called once, so it doesn't matter if I have a loop in here. Should be fine. Let's check if I'm lying. No. I was. Okay. But this is not static, so I think it's in... Where do I call this? In entities. And this is, yeah, this is called once when you touch the stone. So that's fine. That is fine. So now for the actual thing. That was showing the number, render, so area unlocked, and then I put in Two numbers. Oh, that's actually bad. Oh god. Okay, I have to get this size beforehand, and that's lab n, lab n total. Yeah, and then get the width and then print it. Okay, suspiciously it built on first try. That's usually not a good sign. At least that's my intuition. Okay, I think I deleted the... Nope, I didn't delete the records file. Okay, why am I starting in the Vanishing Gorge if I just deleted the file? Oh, I loaded the game. Okay, starting to confuse myself. Foothills. Okay. Now let's walk somewhere else. Hopefully unlock another region. Looks promising. Vanishing Gorge. Now I just need... Okay, it goes underground. Oh, that's good. 2 of 73. That's pretty cool. That gives a bit more meaning. Now all that's really left is decoupling the areas you've discovered from the high scores, because yeah, it's just can't do that. Just too dangerous. And that means just writing it in a different file. So that, yeah, if you want to start new, you can just delete that file and then that's it. Okay, another stone maybe. Oh, there's one. Okay, where am I? Maybe I should swap the... or log grid. Well, not sure. I meant swapping the vertical position of the lines. That's okay. Alright, seems to work. I'll have to test this more, of course. But let's quickly do the second file. And actually, let's revert this to 33. And then read areas. What do I call the file? Exploration, maybe. It's areas. Okay, for that I need, let's just copy out of this. And say file is areas. Version is somewhere in there. If I don't need this, maybe this. Read the data. So yeah, this will move out. And that's just the array. Well, let's call it exploration. Oh, I could actually call it meta. That feels better. Okay, don't need to comment that. Then I need to revert this. That was 108. And this is four times plus 2144. Let's hope that works. Should actually, yeah. And then this is read meta. So we have meta. Struct meta. And then I need a global. Okay. Meta areas. And this can go. What was it? C dot. So read the file, get the version. The version is in the future that for some reason which should never happen. Go to set default. Otherwise, copy the data into the meta struct and 0 the array and set the starting location. If it's below 34, which I don't need, so I can just set the default if it's missing. It should be enough. File, read meta, so I need to write the data, of course. And that's here, that's much simpler. And all that does is it uses the game version, writes it into the meta file, or it opens the file for writing, and then first of all it writes the version, and then it writes the struct, and then it does nothing. Okay. So yeah, unlock area, I'll need to change these as well. That's now in the meta struct. I mean, the compiler will throw warnings. Write meta, because the records struct no longer has this member. And reading the records, that's also, yeah, that's not needed. Let's double check. Okay, let's run this and fix the errors. Okay, that's just a typo. This needs to be meta. Then in game, score, 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 score. And yeah, that's it. Okay. Well, just did that. Let's hope we end up in the, well, we end up nowhere. Why do I end up nowhere? Oh, I don't read the file. So, of course I need to read the file. Game start. And I do that here with the others. And off we go. Okay, let's see if this goes to the foothills. And it does. So that's awesome. All right, guys, this is it for today. I will test this and see if it's any good, but chances are quite good that I'll add this to the game. And well, the only question that's unsolved is if I should start everyone at the very beginning, or if I give new players or current players a save file that will include all the regions. Not sure. I'll figure it out. Anyways, thank you very much for stopping by, Woof. And thank you for the support. The game is still on sale, 20% on the Steam store, so check it out. If you want to try it, there's a demo as well. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you probably on, wait, probably tomorrow. Yeah. All right. Take care, guys. Till next time. Bye.